What if I told you that wealth is not something you chase, but something you design? What if abundance is not luck, not inheritance, not even talent, but alignment? Today, I want to take you to Japan, not to the neon lights of Tokyo, not to the bullet trains or the anime culture, but to something deeper, to three powerful philosophies that have quietly shaped some of the most disciplined, resilient, and prosperous people on Earth. And here is the twist. These secrets are not about working harder. They are not about hustling until you burn out. They are not about grinding yourself into exhaustion. They are about living in alignment, improving daily, and embracing imperfection. And if you truly understand what I am about to share, you will never look at success the same way again. Because wealth without purpose feels empty. Discipline without direction feels heavy. And perfection without acceptance feels suffocating. So let's begin with the first secret. The first secret of Japan for wealth and abundance is something called Ikigai. Ikigai is often translated as a reason for being, but that translation barely scratches the surface. Ikigai is your reason to wake up in the morning. It is the invisible force that pulls you out of bed before the alarm rings. It is the quiet excitement you feel on a Monday morning. And yes, imagine that. Being excited for Monday. Most people live for Friday. They survive Monday. They tolerate Tuesday. They drag themselves through Wednesday. They push through Thursday. And they celebrate Friday like they escaped prison. That is not abundance. That is survival. And survival is not the same as living. The Japanese understood something powerful. If you want a fulfilling life, you must align 4 key elements. Imagine 4 circles overlapping. The first circle is what you love, what makes you lose track of time. What would you do even if nobody paid you? What lights you up? Be honest. Not what sounds impressive. Not what your parents wanted. Not what society applauds. What do you love? The second circle is what the world needs. Look around you. Problems are everywhere. People are stressed. People are confused. People are lonely. People are overwhelmed. Businesses fail because they forget this circle. They focus on what they want to sell, instead of what the world desperately needs solved. Abundance follows value, and value comes from solving real problems. The third circle is what you can be paid for. This is where many dreamers get stuck. Passion is beautiful, but passion without monetization becomes frustration. You must ask yourself, is there a market for this? Can this skill generate income? Because financial abundance matters. Money is not evil. Money is energy. Money amplifies who you already are. The fourth circle is what you are good at. Not average, not decent. What comes naturally to you? What do people compliment you on? What do you learn faster than others? We all have talents. Some are obvious. Some are hidden. But they exist. Now, here is where it gets interesting. If you combine what you love and what you are good at, you discover your passion. If you combine what you are good at and what you can be paid for, you discover your vocation. But here's the warning. If you only follow your passion and mission, you may feel fulfilled, but broke. If you only follow your profession and vocation, you may earn money, but feel empty. And that emptiness is dangerous. Because it leads to burnout. It leads to midlife crises. It leads to waking up at 45, wondering what you did with your life. True abundance lies in the center, where passion, mission, profession and vocation intersect. That center is Ikigai. That center is balance. When you live there, something changes. You stop counting down to. You stop dreading Monday. You stop feeling like you are sacrificing your life for a paycheck. Instead, you feel aligned, and alignment creates energy. Energy creates productivity. Productivity creates value, and value creates wealth. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Finding your Ikigai takes reflection. It takes courage. It takes brutal honesty. You might realize you are in the wrong career. You might realize you have been living someone else's dream. And that realization can hurt. But temporary discomfort is the price of long-term abundance. Now, once you have clarity about your direction, the second secret becomes essential. Because clarity without action changes nothing. The second secret is Kaizen. Kaizen means continuous improvement. Kai means change. Zen means good or better. Together, it means change for the better. And this philosophy is deceptively simple. Improve 1% every day. 1% sounds small, insignificant, almost laughable. But let me ask you something. If you improved 1% every day for a year, how different would your life look? Most people fail because they try to transform overnight. They want to learn a new language in a month. They want to get in shape in 2 weeks. They want a 6-figure business in 90 days. And when it doesn't happen, they quit. Kaizen removes the pressure. It removes the overwhelm. It replaces intensity with consistency. Want to learn a language? Start with 1 word a day. That's it. In a year that is 365 words. That is real progress. Want to get fit? Start with 1 push-up a day. It sounds ridiculous, but that 1 push-up destroys the excuse of, I don't feel like it. And once you start, you often do more. Want to write a book? Write 5 sentences a day. Not 5 pages, 5 sentences. We overestimate what we can do in a week and underestimate what we can do in a year. Kaizen is about momentum. It is about building habits so small that failure feels silly. But here is where it becomes powerful for wealth. Businesses that apply Kaizen constantly refine. They improve processes. They eliminate waste. They optimize systems. And individuals can do the same. There is a tool within Kaizen called the 5S method, originally designed for companies, but incredibly powerful for personal life. The first S is sort. Remove what is unnecessary. Look at your workspace. Is it cluttered? Look at your calendar. Is it filled with meaningless commitments? Look at your relationships. Are there toxic influences draining your energy? Abundance requires space, physical space, mental space, emotional space. If your life is full of junk, nothing valuable can grow. The second S is set in order. Everything should have its place. Your tools, your schedule, your priorities. Chaos kills focus, and focus creates results. The third S is shine. Take care of your environment. Take care of your body. Take care of your mind. The content you consume matters. If you feed your brain negativity every day, do not expect optimism. If you scroll for 3 hours daily, do not complain about lack of time. Mental hygiene is as important as physical hygiene. The fourth S is standardize. Create systems. Success is not random. It is repeatable. If reading at night works for you, protect that hour. If mornings are your peak energy time, schedule important tasks there. Design your life intentionally. The fifth S is sustain. This is discipline. This is commitment. This is showing up when motivation disappears. Because motivation fades, but systems remain. Kaizen teaches patience. It teaches humility. It teaches resilience. And when you look back after 6 months of small improvements, you feel something powerful. Confidence. Not fake confidence. Earned confidence. You see proof of growth. And that proof fuels more growth. Now let's talk about the third secret. This one might surprise you. Because it has nothing to do with productivity, nothing to do with money, and everything to do with perception. The third secret is wabi-sabi. Wabi-sabi is the art of finding beauty in imperfection. In the West, we worship perfection, perfect bodies, perfect houses, perfect resumes, perfect Instagram feeds. But perfection is exhausting and unattainable. In Japan, there is an appreciation for cracks, for asymmetry, for simplicity. There is even an art form called kintsugi. When a ceramic bowl breaks, they do not throw it away. They repair it with gold. They fill the cracks with gold lacquer, and instead of hiding the damage, they highlight it. The cracks become the most beautiful part. Think about that. In many cultures, when something breaks, it becomes trash. In this philosophy, when something breaks, it becomes art. What if you applied that to yourself, your failures, your scars, your mistakes? What if those are not weaknesses? What if those are your golden lines? Most people hide their struggles. They pretend everything is fine, but authenticity builds trust, and trust builds influence, and influence builds wealth. Your setbacks can become your story. Your story can become your brand. Your brand can become your business. But only if you stop being ashamed of the cracks. There is also a powerful lesson about ego here. Too much self-esteem becomes arrogance. People move away from arrogance. Too little self-esteem becomes insecurity. You move away from opportunities. Wabi-sabi encourages healthy acceptance, not arrogance, not self-hatred. Acceptance. You are not perfect, and you do not need to be. In fact, perfection can paralyze you. How many people never start a business because they fear it won't be perfect? How many never post content because it might not be flawless? How many never try because they might fail? Wabi-sabi whispers something freeing. Start imperfectly. Grow visibly. Embrace evolution. Abundance flows to those who act, not to those who wait for perfection. Now, let's connect the three secrets. Ikigai gives you direction. Kaizen gives you progress. Wabi-sabi gives you peace. Direction without progress is frustration. Progress without peace is burnout. Peace without direction is stagnation. But when you combine all three, something powerful happens. You wake up with purpose. You improve daily. You accept your humanity. And that combination creates a life that feels rich, even before the money arrives. And ironically, when you feel rich internally, external wealth follows more easily. Because you are focused. Because you are consistent. Because you are authentic. Let me ask you something important. If money disappeared tomorrow, would you still love what you do? If the answer is no, revisit your Ikigai. If you feel overwhelmed by big goals, apply Kaizen. If you feel stuck because you are not perfect, remember Wabi-sabi. The world does not need another perfect person. It needs aligned, disciplined, authentic people. Japan rebuilt itself after devastation, after crisis, after destruction, through discipline, through philosophy, through respect for process. And you can rebuild any part of your life the same way. You can redesign your career. You can reshape your habits. You can reframe your flaws. But it starts with a decision. A decision to stop drifting. A decision to stop blaming. A decision to stop waiting. Wealth is not an accident. Abundance is not random. It is cultivated, intentionally. And here is the final thought I want to leave you with. Do not look for a job. Create value. Do not chase money. Chase alignment. Do not fear cracks. Fill them with gold. Because when you discover your reason for being, improve a little every day, and embrace your imperfect journey, you do not just build income. You build a life. And that is the ultimate form of abundance. So tonight, before you sleep, ask yourself 4 questions. What do I love? What does the world need? What can I be paid for? What am I truly good at? Start there. Tomorrow, improve 1%. And when you stumble, because you will, look at the crack and imagine it shining in gold. That is how you build wealth. That is how you create abundance. That is how you live like the Japanese masters of purpose and progress. And your journey can start right now.